So next is bulbous candara. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. It's called wooden rockin'. I just know it as it's a custom house. You come in this little cave room, a little bit of overgrowth here and there. Again, it's always a trouble or a challenge for builders to figure out how to either hide, incorporate, or just better sit you up with a nice entrance than this gaudy platform. And it's always fun to see how people address that. So right away you can see there's a lot of little bits around the edges that they've taken the time to do. We're going to take a look at this little pathway all around first, and then we'll go to the main house last. So you can see they've used these stepping stones quite extensively as like the trim for their little pathway. Again, those you can get from Starcom Basin if you have the reputation for it. It's a daily zone, so you can get your rep up pretty quickly. But you can see they've gone through the trouble of adding in a lot of little details. I mean, this is all raised ground basically, because the main surface of the ground of the plot itself is down below. So all of this is hand, custom put together. All of the plants that they've decided to use, they got a variety of desert plants and mushrooms and things from far side. It kind of shows that you don't have to repeat the same flowers. Kind of like my garden on the Easter one, I use the same stuff repeatedly. You don't have to. You can kind of mix and match, especially if you've collected plants, you don't have any place to put them. Some kind of little garden display like this is a really good idea. You can see this trimmed in different types of stone. There's obsidian, there's the sandstone or the gray stones, one of the two. Little bit of overgrowth here and there. Again, even the cave entrance is a different combination of rocks. Yeah, it's a lot of stepping stones, but for their design, the way they put it together, it works really well. They're using it kind of like a border type of thing. So we're going to walk along the edge here first. You can see, I think it's the Dominion fence that's being used here pretty extensively. Notice patches of grass. I don't know what they're using for the dirt. I suspect it's Draken walls, but I really can't tell for sure. It looks like this one in particular is actually, I really don't know. It's hard to see. It's so covered up. It could be, sandbags for all I know. Give a little bit of, trying to get a good shot. It's got that marbly look, so I'm pretty sure it's the Draken walls that they've just patched around in there. But you can see, again, they're using the stepping stones for trim, but they're also, adding in the obsidian. They touch it with, other kinds of rocks. You get a good view of the yard and the house itself from different areas. So then they've built this strange little like tunnel system here where you go through, and you've just kind of broken it up a little bit. Nicely done. I like the concept of it for someone that's wanting like maybe some kind of like Colosseum type of thing that's made out of stone. You think it's sandbags? Yeah, it could be. It could be. But this would be a good way of kind of, dressing it up. You've just got, the granite fencing, the obsidian stones, both big and small, just a different way of lining your plot. A lot of people don't go through that trouble, but I think it's a cute way of doing it. Got a good view of the plot here. Whoops, kind of sunk down in there. Got some lightning going on up there, apparently. But again, trimming it with the stepping stones. So it looks like, you know, a purposeful garden. It's not just kind of tossed around. I think we'll get a better shot of the ground here. So yeah, it looks pretty much like the Draken wall. This is a little area they haven't finished yet. So they're planning on extending it all the way around. So this is a good example of how you can see how they've put it together. That's how they've done all of that all, and this is, we're just catching them kind of in the midst of it. But that gives you an idea. They're lining it with rocks. They line it with the Draken walls, and then they fill in all the grasses and plants and stuff. That's a lot of detail, and all the stepping stones and everything. That's a lot of work. I wouldn't doubt if they run out before they finish all the way around, if they run out of space. Because, you know, on top of that, they've got the custom house over here. So that's pretty crazy. They have a few fab kits. You can see the wishing well one, the one with the little chimera on it, the biome one. Looking to see if there's anything up here before we go back up to the house. No, looks like we're good. This is another, I think that's the rock garden and the hot springs and the meditation pond or something, because the pond here actually has little fish swimming around in it, as opposed to the hot springs where they would probably boil and be ready for eating. Again, notice they've got the stones here, but they also lay in little bits of that obsidian to kind of break it up. It's just an interesting way of setting up the plot, the landscaping. So the same walls that they used for the dirt all along their little garden path, they're using as well as part of the house construction. It's going to be tough to get a good shot of the house as a whole unless I find a balcony in here, but we come into the main living room. You can see there's lots of different materials here. You've got the Draken walls, you've got the exile walls, arches here, I guess it's Cassian. The Cassian walls here. There's Cassian floors. Lots of different textures and everything going on. Here's a little desk, little wall with glass, and then the end one is just an orange one. There's a good view of the outside. And you have a little sitting room here. And then we come right into the kitchen. Got a lot of workers here for this nice little kitchen. The kitchen is basically the wooden shipping container. They're using that as the base of the cabinetry for the countertops, and then lining it with the Cassian floors. That's a favorite. I think I prefer the travel posters. I like that nice solid metal looking pattern. Got a little garden here right next to the house. Notice that's orange walls for a lot of the kitchenry up above and down below with the little pillars to line it. Lots of cabinetry. That's a quick way of doing it because the shipping containers have those handles there, so that it just looks like cabinets. Go around the edge here. Okay, so here's the first little outside. You get the angle right. You You see, they've layered part of it with stone, sitting on stone. So you got this little bit here. They've got a waterfall coming down. Lots of stepping stones. They really loved those bits. Here's the kitchen from the outside. It's another example of how tough it is to kind of make the walls match what nicely, but still allowing window space or door space. This is always a challenge. Come along this way. Get some good outside shots. See, like this, they use big floors for most of the balcony out here, but they had to go small just to get it to line up right. There's even a little bit of glitchiness there, but you know, you have to forgive them because you just got to work with the items you have, and they don't always suit the size and the curve and the shape that you're aiming for, and that can be kind of troublesome. So I like these little simple display setups that they've got here. It's just a couple of orange floors, and it works. It just kind of breaks it off, you know, makes it, okay, this is a display kind of thing. This one is a favorite. A lot of people like to use the tube topped with the dome. Works nice. Again, little display cases here. I mean, not cases, but a little, it indicates that that's something important. Here's a little indoor garden that they set up. Just using, again, I suspect the Draken floors for the dirt, and then they've covered it with grass, and they just put in a lot of plants and things. Over here we have the game room. So they've made their own little custom pool table. Now this is the first time I think I've seen someone that actually built a little bit on the bottom so that the balls line up when they go into the pockets. Sometimes the machine actually rolls them out to a little place where you collect them. I think that's the first time I've seen somebody do that. Usually I think we just assume that they collect in the pockets themselves. They're just using the tall files for the balls. I suspect the holes are the tops of the judges' hats, because it has that little bit of an oval look to it instead of a perfect round. And then just an exile table trimmed in metal edged 2x4 bits. And of course the pool sticks are the pointy Draken spears. They have the little triangle piece over here. That's where you collect the balls in. The little scoreboard here, and then some more of the pool cube. Over here we have a little bar area. Again, you know, when you set up these rooms, you kind of go with a theme. You don't have to necessarily carry that theme throughout the entire house. So they've decided to use a lot of their neon-y and technophage stuff in this particular room. I think that's all on the downstairs. Yeah. Let's go up. And now you have a little living room area, TV room, using that Space Bridge monitor there for that. Can't really get out to the little balcony here, but I guess it's assumed that the door would slide open and you could go out to the balcony from. See what I mean? You really notice that these are empty rather than filled up with stuff. Little balcony view for the downstairs. Any of these open? Doesn't look like it. Otherwise, I'd step out there and try and get a better view of the building itself. There's a little bathroom. This one's got a little bit fancier shower room. Again, A lot of different parts. There's Oran walls, there's Draken floors, Draken pillars, Oran floors, a little bit of 2x4 trim there. Looks like the shower head is, oh, what's that? Like a water tank thing. It makes that noise if you can hear it. I like how the little 2x4 here gives a little shelving as well. Like does double duty. Speaking of duty, there you go. Toilet. Just using a pane of glass as the mirror there. It's just indicative that that's what it's supposed to be, even though you can see right through it. You just kind of look past that. Except that it's a window. I mean a mirror. Okay. See. I feel like I'm missed something. Hold on. Oops. Ah, here we go. I knew there was another part. Then we go down into the basement area and you come across the gym. So you got the weightlifting, which is basically just, I think it's a sparking wire. Yeah, you can see the spark coming out on this end. Tires. They've got an exile bench, and then they've lined that with a sleeping bag and a Chua pillow to make that little bit with the metal planks on either side to hold it up. And of course, you're gotta have the treadmill. And this is where they practice some of their martial arts. And then I like this, they've got it where it looks like they had to blow up part of the rock to get to this area here. But this leads you to the bunker house, just down below. Notice they went through the care of adding in pillars to make it look like it's being supported so it doesn't cave in. The disappointing thing is it is currently closed off, so I'm sure, like the rest of the trim around the edge of the plot, they're busily working on this. So this will be something, if you have access to Jabbit Dominion, you'll want to come and revisit just to see what they decide to do with this. I have no idea what they might want to put into that, but it should be interesting to see how that goes. So that is Baldus Kandara's wooden rockin' plot. I think we got everything. I hope so. Everything that was available anyway. So the last house for today is Care Gigax. Gigax. Care Gigax. I don't know how to say that rightly. It's called Outpost Z38. Some of you may recognize some of it from the forums. They posted a few screenshots and stuff. And I was intrigued, so I thought I would come and visit in person. You'll see it's very overgrown, excuse me. And I may kind of wander off the path without intending to. Like I see these little bombs and I want to follow the bombs, and so that leads you to the little encampment here. So they're using the Pell tents, but you know it's okay. You don't have too many tents, but they decorated them up with all these little detailed bits. Someone sleeping on a corpse there, or a rug. I guess this is a rug. Open up. These are those new, I think it's the Protostar gates that actually function. And this is one of the new stone doors that can be kind of tricky to spot sometimes, unless they're really nice about showing you where to go. Wow, look at this place. A lot of blue. Torini feel. A lot of water. I think where am I supposed to go? Okay, here. A lot of boardwalk pieces, some of the exonite floating trees even. A lot of overgrowth, the mossy overgrowth. tree stuck in there. The rope bridge, and then they've used the granite pillars for the supports on either end. Lots of crystals. I think this is one of the new willows. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but it's really got some spindly looking roots. I'm just following along. I have no idea where I'm going here. Got one of those Loctite cages. I think they got it hanging upside down, which is okay, but I think it's supposed to be the other way around. That's the way it comes in. Where are we? Oh, that's kind of weird with the moth there. Kind of creepy. That's an interesting use of the little dangly bits for the... Wow, it just keeps going. So we come upon this little, I guess it's like an altar kind of place thingy. They've got the, I think it's the taurine thing, because the water, that's part of the decor itself. And I like the way they've laid in the frozen water where the holes are right where the water comes through. Hey, Bucky. Glad you could join us. Coming in on the very end. This is the last house for today, so. I don't know what these pieces are from. I want to say it's the taurine forge or something. It looks kind of reminiscent of that because of the gold. But it looks really enlarged, so I really couldn't say for sure if that's what that is. Of course, those are the columns. Fiercely glowing columns, I think is the name of that. Okay, how do I get back out of here? Okay. This way? No. I think I have to go back up. These kind of adventurous little exploration plots are great, but I can get really lost in these things. I'm just going to hop down from here, I think. If you're wondering what the smoky bit is here where the waterfall is, that's just the blue flare. Should be one or two of them. It looks like two. You have to make them kind of small when you're using them like that because the light on the flare itself is really bright and it kind of throws things off. Okay, I think this is where we come in. Yep. So a nice little camp leads off to a little cave area that you can explore. You can see that they have used some of the fab kits. I think this is the one with the horn. And then here's the hot springs one. But they've built up pretty heavily around them, so they just look kind of part of it. I'm going to use this as kind of like a scope out the area. If I can get up it. Gosh. I'm so bad with jumping. It's sad. Yeah, see they've tacked on little bits here. I don't think that's normally on the fab kit. And then they've attached it with a bridge to this other part. Now I think this is the actual Brooke's bridge, if I remember correctly, because it's got all this bracketry and stuff that comes with it. So it's a little fancier than the regular rope bridges that come from the vendor. So if you're interested, now I will say it's a rare bridge. I'm not really sure where it drops from, and the ones that I have seen on the auction house that pop up, at least on Exile side, Jabbit-EU, they're pretty expensive. So if you're looking for one, you're going to have to probably pay unless you're lucky enough to get it as a drop. But I believe this is that Brooke's bridge. A lot of people wondered if it was actually in game yet, but it is. It's just very rare and very expensive. So here we have a little landing pad with a ship. This looks like a ship that they built with all of the little ship parts. Very strange looking ship, like top heavy here. I I am not even going to try and name all of those bits. I will say that you're using fencing here for the little trim around the edge, barbed wire fence. The interesting ship shape kind of thing. And then weirdly up here they've got like little headstones and stuff, so it's like the landing pad's right where the graveyard is, which seems a little weird. Again, I'm probably not going at this the right way, but I'm trying. This is the top of a thinkerhead. Look, I don't know where I'm going. I'm trapped. Where in the world? Let me see. I can't jump. I think I'm too short for jumping over the fence. I'm trying to figure out how to get inside this part. Let's go back this way. Okay, that's the camp. That's the... Okay, let's go this way. Gosh. When I need some neon arrows saying, go here, Carrot. This is the route. Lots of plants. I mean, look at all of the variety of plants. There's like the razor bushes, the cactuses. I think that's a celestion piece of. It's like the floating canopy thing. That's some the bulby thorn bush. There's all kinds of bushberry things. I think that's one of the lily leaf plants. I can see bubbles, and that means that's from the spore tree, I think, or the spore bush. It looks like the tree because it's kind of tall. There's the creepy leaning creep tree bit here. There's all sorts of stuff. It's just crazy. Okay, I think I found the entrance to this one part. Now, I'm not very mechanical, and I don't know all of these, names of bits, but this looks like a bunker where they have their little, like, guns, like air defense kind of things, where they shoot, invading bits that are coming in. They got the little faux door over here made out of a flat metal table. I think that's the vent is actually part of one of the I think it's the Dominion or Cassian pillar. The bottom of it has a little vent piece on it. The handle, I'm not sure what they're using there for that. These little hook things is hammers inside what do you call those? The rain gutters. And so those are supposed to look like guns as well. So yeah, some kind of like a bunker hangar kind of thing. I don't know what it is. A lot of guns. You'd think they would like be shooting their own walls because of the way they're pointed. And I think this is the granite style of the floors, if you're wondering what that pattern is, because the two one's a little bit more broken up. This one looks granite style to me. Now here, if I can get a good shot of that, it's like a rocket that they're preparing for liftoff. I don't even know what all pieces are being used there. I mean, I see a tank and I see some engine pieces, and it looks like a cryopod of some sort. that Dominion thing. It looks like this here that they're using up there, but I couldn't say for sure. These little things are just domes that they've kind of patched together to make these little turrets. I guess that's what they are, turrets. Gunnery nest, that's a good term, Bucky. You're always good at that stuff. But you can see it's like preparing for takeoff kind of thing. Yeah, I think there's a way up. Yeah, here, see, here's another little faux door. It makes it look like there's more to this little outpost than just what's you have access to. I like the little tunnels. I don't know what staircase it is. I want to say it's like this here, the landing pad, and it's just you don't see the round part underneath. And then they're just using the curved glass to make that little tube. So here's like a missile silo thingy. I think that's the right term. They've got one closed off, but the other one's open and it's ready. It's getting ready to come out. You see they've got hanging wires. It's one of those engine parts that's got the turbine there, it's motion, and then got the rocket in there. Niftily done. Definitely not up my alley because I'm really bad with mechanical stuff. This is just one of those little models that's supersized. It looks like Myrmidon's head or whatever he's called from World of Warcraft. That's what it reminds me of. I'm trying to get over to the other side. How do I get there? Probably not this way, but I'm going this way anyway. Like, totally not the right way to go. See, they're repeating it. It's nicely done. I'm just really bad with this kind of stuff. Oh, I'm so stuck. Whoops, I'm falling down even further. Go this way. I'm just too short to hop over the fence. There we go. Woo. Okay, can I jump over to this one? Ugh, I made it. So here, like, again, it's a faux door, but it's indication that there's probably some controls and things that you can go off inside. So you got that big antenna. Really hard to get a good shot of it because can't angle the camera just right, but it's there. Using the boarding ramps and such for this little walkway to the rocket. I think that's a TUA container unit there. A blue flare for the smoke. Those looks like some Eldon columns. Magnetized container there, and the TUA tech arms for that bit. All the other bits I'm not sure about. That's the little vacuum item for that. I think that's cleverly done. Even the spacing of it, it looks nice. And of course they got the red moon vents there, so it looks like they're, I don't know, fueling it or something. A lot of detail, a lot of things I can't appreciate because I'm not really big on that kind of stuff, but yeah, I know there's a door here that we can actually go inside. You're wondering what the arch is? That's just the, what's it called? It's not the fancy, some kind of bar. I keep calling it the fancy bar, but I don't think that's the actual name. Again, it's Grand Op version of these tunnels and stuff. Got a little engine room here. Oh, I can't get in it. Got it blocked off. But you can see stuff like the maintenance platforms and things. I think that's a chimney but they just turned into a mechanical bit. Here's the weapons storage. Some weird weapons. Medical room. Prisoner room. Again, using the photo. I wish I knew what the handle was, but I can't really tell you what that is. I think it's funny they got a plushie in there. Little root thing. Open sesame. I know there's the hatch house there, but we're gonna go inside this little cage area. That was the new Osun door, if you're wondering. It's a really nice animation. It's a really nice looking too. I just hate that a lot of the interactables, they turn green. On which part? Let me go back. You talking about these here? I think it's kind of hard to get a good shot. It's the detonator, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, at the rooms I couldn't enter. Yeah, these little here, that's the detonators. It's hard to see, but if you look at this one here in particular, you can see the little red handle up there. It's the one that little plunger thing. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's just enlarged a little bit. Okay, back out to the thing. That's one of those asteroid things. The thinker head there. I think this leads us back to the outside, if I remember right, yeah. So this is another secret little way to get in and out to the bunker if that's where you're aiming for. So let's go into the bunker house. I'm going to go ahead and go in it now because I may not find it again later, so I just want to make sure we go inside. Right away, you're like in a cage. And then you've got this, I don't know if this is like the core, the engine room, the power plant. I don't know, but they've got a lot of little gadgetry here. I, again, can't possibly name everything. I know that's one of the technophage items. It looks like a fuel pump. This is from the Dominion, oh, it's like the desk panel or something. That's the standing view display. This is the, I think it's the thermometer, the advanced thermometer that you can get. This little bit, I think this was one of the things that intrigued a lot of people here on the forums. This is the Osun cryopod. Apparently it comes from the cosmic points, but you have to have a pretty high tier before it unlocks for you. I couldn't figure out, I've been here before, I couldn't figure out how to actually open it and close it. But this one is the closed version, and that one's the open one. So you have this little window here, but you can see how it's all. This one here, that's the. There's a. If I can get it. I don't know if it's. It just won't let me open it. It's like being mean. But they have it both in the closed version and the open, just so you can see. And then they're using one of the new simulated peoples for a little bit there. And this is one of the new Elden panels you got from the Dungeon Chase event, I think it was. But it might just be the way they've placed them, and you can't actually reach, because it keeps telling me that it's like line of sight. So that might have something to do with it. But I want to say this is a different kind of cryopod that's set up behind there to give that extra grid. I don't think it's the same. I think it's two different cryopods that they got back to back to give just extra design. And but I can't seem to interact with the Osun version. Yeah, that's what I suspect. It's like they've got a regular cryopod flipped around so you only see the bottom of it, and that just gives some extra little doodads. And of course, the grading pattern is really nice. But for those curious, that's what that is. That's where it comes from. It's the Osun, especially I think a lot of people was fascinated with this little window thing here. That's the Osun cryopod, and they've got other things inset here. I think that's a technophage door inset to give that purple bit kind of stuff. I don't know what's going on here where they're repairing. I think it's a Dominion scanner, and then they've got some of those pillars and maybe some augmented cobweb that's lined up there for those little wires and stuff. It's a nice way of making it look like it's, you know, broken up. Got the little triangle piece lifted, and he's got his toolbox and everything. And it's a little bot. They've made this little, it's really, I think it's supposed to be one of the ship lights or windows or something, and they're using that as like a little robot. And he's the one doing the repairs. I like that. This, they're using, it looks like a little control panel. It's, I don't know what this part is, but this is an Exile tactical table. And they've just got it sunk in just enough over top of the calendar so that you only see the little like targeting feature. And then they've got the ergonomics keyboard underneath that. I just don't know what this piece is. It looks like the end of the Dominion shelf, the shelf that has that big white, a lot of people like using it for like frozen bits. I think that's what it reminds me of, but I can't say for positive if that's what that is. The animation here, oh gosh, I don't even know where to begin on that. I want to say it looks like one of the drums, either the Pell or the Osun. I think both of those have some kind of a little repetitive drum kind of animation, like it's sending off sound waves. I think that's what that might be, but I don't know for sure. I think this is the Marauder little, not a lamppost thing, but little turret thing. It's just the bottom of it. They've got the other part sunk down, and a couple of other things. I think that's the kind of orangey peach trim that looks to be like the portable planter. And then they've got some technophage pinky stuff in there as well. And this part might be an engine that's sunk down, the same way with this. This is like an engine part. And then they've cubed the data cube inside a cube of glass. It looks like red glass, just frameless, so it looks kind of weird. Yeah, this looks like it might be part of a fence, like the Protostar fence. It's just really enlarged and just sunk in. So you don't see the fence, you just see the box. And then they've got, again, one of those perimeter fence posts attached. Of course, you got the new NPCs here. For this faux door, a lot of little gadgetry going on here. They've got, I think that's that new antenna lamp from the ship, golden arrow for the floor piece, maintenance platforms for both the floor of it and the wall. Looks like travel posters for the doors and a corrugated container, just kind of inset, so you just see the trim of it. I don't know what they're using for the little panel here. I want to say it's probably one of the medical bits. Ouch. Ugh, my neck is really cracking. Same way here. It's just some enlarged. It looks like some of the ship bits, just because of the sleekness of the metal and everything. It looks like that. Again, it looks like the golden arrows for the trim here. So it's just the arrows pointing down. This is the top of one of those ornate cabinets. The green, I assume, is probably from probably the cube again here. You just got it sunk down. So it looks like it's like maybe a display for somebody that could, come and say, hey, you work for me, that kind of thing. And I think this is another one of those new ship part pieces. Wow, I don't know who's riding their bike, but it sounded awful. Same way here. I think this is the, I'm trying to remember what that was. It might be one of the fireplaces. It gives off that little burning ember stuff, and then they've just got that inset behind the red moon vent to kind of give it a little bit of like a heat, like the heater coming through. Here's that Dominion thing. See the end of it? It looks just like that bit over here. Here. Look at their little house of cards that they made using the posters. Somebody's bored, made a little house of cards. Got a little ping pong table here. They're using the cheese boards. You can see the cheese underneath, but if you don't look at it underneath, it looks pretty clever. They got the little paddles made out of the cheese boards and the Marauder signs. And then, of course, the sporty sphere for the ball. The table, it's the new medical exam table. And then they've got the metal grate shelves for the netting. It's simple and cute, and yeah, the cheese shows on the bottom, but if you don't look at that, it looks pretty nice. I like that. Isn't it the console on the Excel tactical table? Which part are you talking about? Sorry, I get lost in the conversation. I'm not sure what you're referring to. You talking about one of these panels here? Like this here? At the faux door. Okay, so you're talking about this panel here. It could be. I don't know. If it is, they've got that one covered up, so I can't compare. Yeah, it could be. Like looking at it from the side, maybe. Like that's on the bottom of it or something on the one end. So yeah, that could be the tactical table. If we see it again somewhere else, we'll see. Here's one hanging on the wall here. Does it have that? Yeah, so you can kind of see it. They covered it up here as well with the advanced thermometer. But yeah, you're right. That's probably what that is. Okay, I'm just staring at the shelves. Make sure we don't miss anything. I like how they kind of made this look like a little fan. Looks like a airtight container with that floating television that's got the little fins on the bottom of it. That's what's this part for the fan. And then of course you got the Dominion pendant hanging down. That's a cute little inventive way of doing that. Yeah, here's the Dominion console. They used it in a couple other places outside. A lot of bits. See, here's that thing again. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. The tactical table, and they just sunk it in so you only see bits. And that's what they do with it. Like this is the this here is just this, but they've hidden this part behind the wall. That's how you get these little different looking stuffs. Here's another one of those little robots. as well. I'm working the controls up here. We've really mashed a lot of different things together to make some interesting bits. Okay, back down. Like these are the ship hand locker, I think there. And all sorts of the technophage. I think that's part of the perimeter fence post. This is some of that new little circuitry bits, but they've also added their own little wires in here, the hanging wires, same way here. Made these little bits. A lot of detail. I mean, these tubes here, that's just the ends. I think those are the gear lamps. Like here, that's the Dominion scanners again. But look at all the little pipes that they've kind of worked in. I'm sure that's like part of like maybe the beer tap or something. This looks like it might be the oversized, what's that called? The honey extractor, the Protostar honey extractor. That's what those look like. And then that's one of those golden arrows again. It's just really big. Yeah, here's that engine, not engine, the furnace. I think they're using this same furnace as I guess it's the toilet. I think that's what someone said. It was the back of the flusher 5000, 3000, whatever it's called. I think that's the back of it. And that's what they're using for the vent over here. They just got it turned different so that it's spitting it out from the side. That's what that is. I always think it's one of the fireplaces, but I think the one we were talking about last week said that no, it was the toilet, and that's what that is. It's the back of the flusher. Okay, so are we back at the front? Yeah. Let's go up the side here now. I'm using a combination of the Marauder netting shelves and the grate shelves, and then of course this whole tank thing is there's all sorts of stuff going on here. You've got the digital Marauder net thing here. I see a Red Moon vent. I see Frozen Lake. I see the windmill blades. Lots of the cubes, of course. There's an antenna there. It looks like even a glacier piece sticking out where it's a little frozen over. Some icicles hanging from there. So I guess it's supposed to be really cold. I don't know the reason why, but that's how they've got it set up. It's a really interesting bit. I couldn't name everything in here. I named as much as I think I can comfortably identify. It's a pretty crazy setup though. I think that's the technophage platform underneath here as well. For this little bit here. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Let's see, did I miss anything here? Strange place for the mailbox. Let's see. I think there's still some bits on the outside we need to explore. So we went there. Need to go back outside. Oops. Okay, we're going the right way. So we're back outside, and I think we need to go this way. Ramshackle fencing. Don't see that used a whole lot. But I saw some cleverness. There's like a hole in one of the fences, and people have used that in nifty ways. Okay, am I not allowed to go anywhere on the other side? See if we can find another path. There's a little Pumera cave. Got the Pumera corpse in here, but you can see that they wreaked havoc on some of the animals as well. Come on. Excuse me. That's a little disturbing, this little pulsating tumor looking thing. It's disgusting. Here we've got where it looks like there's been a slain animal. You know, it's actually the mounted head thing, but they've just got the backing all hidden down inside the dirt there. Lots of little traps laying around. A couple of corpses again. Wow, look at all these traps. Just very cautious people. Notice they got barbed wire on the bottom as well. It's just the fences sunk down so that you can't see all of the fencing. Yeah, here's like some, Bucky will appreciate these as well. These tanks that they made. Like benches, and they're using the briefcases for the treads. And that's a planter, portable planter. That's an exile shelf for that little bit in the front. These are like either guns or turrets or something. I don't know what bits that is. Another portable planter for the topping, which has been capped with a maintenance platform. You got some cylinder bits here. This is a comfortable Dominion bed. There's a bed there. There's also a platform connecting it. There's one of those metal doors. A lot of people use them as doorways in their space ports and stuff. They've just got that metal platform there. I forget what engine that is. I don't know if it's just engine. And then that's an Exile tactical table, but we just see the bottom of it. Cleverly combined. I really like the little tread. I think that's my favorite part. And it's just, you know, briefcases, but, you know, it's one of those things that we don't have it, and you have to come up with some way to kind of represent it. And that's a really good choice of decor, I think. Really nice. Well, see, now you have an idea of probably you could probably like make your own like little machine gun and use them as like bullets, you know, string bullets on somebody's coat or something. You know, if you're a little, here's that honey extractor thing. I think they use that. See those pipes there? That's what they look like inside. And of course, they got the Dominion scanner blocking off this entrance here. Now, I think this is supposed to be the defaced water tank, and they've just covered it up with some cylinders to kind of make it a little cleaner looking. And of course, they got their Cassian rollers working on that. This is a fun way of making it look a little interactive. They've got the Chua NPC, and then they've got the blazing trail of fire. So it makes it look like he's doing a flamethrower onto the little effigy there. And they've even taken the trouble of adding a lot of grain sacks to kind of look like it's just plowed through the dirt and the grass and just blown a whole line of fire just all the way across. Little things like that go a long way, people. Now, if you're looking for some interesting bits to add to your place, this little ideas like that is really, really fun. I like how they got the one here. They got the little top open. The guy's poking his head out. That's some fun stuff. This was a little, They're all about the same, I guess. Constructed the same. They got the water tower over there, a little barricade with some guns. It's really fortified, this place. This outpost is definitely plenty of weaponry. Here's the troops. So we've got some little robot kind of troops. Again, I probably will fail so much on trying to name a lot of stuff. It looks like the miner bot thing. I see some ship hand lockers, cryopods. Looks like a Chua desk in there. The turrets. I don't know what's going on up there. All kinds of things. I think that's one of the cannons, because it's got those little working gears, which is always nice to have that animation. Oh, see, they did use it as the bullets. They got the hammer as a little machine gun with the fuel tank and everything, and then they've got the bullet string there for his ammunition with using the briefcases. See, I knew that was a good idea. And he used it. That's funny. Okay, this one, he's got a little different setup. He's got a sword and shield. So it looks like he's got like the taurine sword, but it's been augmented with, it looks like the vent fan and a couple of briefcases for parts of it. He's got a shield. It's two of the Dominion shields put together to make it a big one. Essentially the same setup as far as the body goes. He's got one of the toilets on his back there for his little jetpack. Oh gosh. I think some of that might be the body scanner, because I see some of the blue and the little nubbin buttons there. Kind of reminds me of that. Let's see. What about this one over here? He's a little bigger. He's got a cannon gun and the other one. Again, sorry, I'm really bad at describing this stuff. It's just awful. A lot of different little turrets, though, for some of his little gadgetry. And here we've got, I don't know what that is. I know that's a fence post, and it's just enlarged and sunk down, and it's the little topper, and you can actually go through it, which is nice. I've seen a few other people use them as doorways and things in their house. I think this is the generator that you can turn on. A lot of sandbags for their little, making it look all spiffy there. Here's another faux door. Again, it's just the corrugated container, the advanced thermometer for the little control there. This one is the same thing, but it's the open version. And so they have another bot. He's ready to come out and show his stuff. It's just mostly the same setup, but they just use different guns and things for him. Looks a little bow-legged, but it's okay. So they have a bot army, and they got all their tanks, and they're getting ready to head out to invade someplace. I like how they've got these Osun here. They even went through the trouble of adding chains for the dogs. I don't know, maybe they're asking the Osun to come fight for them, so they're offering them some treasure to do that. Yes, they do, Poi. Definitely some awesome imaginations to come up with some of these bits. And you know, since I'm not mechanically inclined and lots of other things, seeing a plot like this, it's fun. Because I never would have come up with a tank or the robots or anything like that. It's like why I like visiting Bucky's places with all the spaceships and stuff. I never would have thought of putting half of that together. or even half. I wouldn't have thought about putting one of those things together. Okay, so I hopefully got to everything, crossing my fingers that I did. There's a lot of stuff here. This is probably one of those plots that you could visit several times and come across something new every time you visit. There's just that much stuff going on here. And it's probably even more so if they continue to work on things, add things here and there, especially if our decor count is increased, where we can place more and more. I would not doubt that they would, add even more detail in, so there would always be something to come and take a look at. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's tours. Again, for those that are, haven't seen these before, we do this every Wednesday. I know my hours are a little sketchy here and there. It's just kind of a window. I always do them in the morning between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. CET time. But that's just because, if I tried to set it at a specific schedule in the past, and there was always something coming up. Either maintenance was going on, or I would have to go do something, and it would kind of knock it off schedule. So it's just easier to kind of keep it in a window. But I stream every weekday just about. But usually that's just me tinkering around on my own stuff. But Wednesdays is probably my favorite day because I'm showcasing other people's work. And of course, we alternate between the factions each week. This week being Dominion, and next week we'll be hitting the Exile side. So yeah, if you're into, looking at places, especially if you don't have access to them yourself, this is a good opportunity to check out those places with us and see what people have to offer. We try to go through a wide range of themes and ideas so that we're not always just looking at spaceports or just always looking at bars. It's a good varied mix, and I hope that even if one thing doesn't interest you, something else we check out will. And yeah, we see a lot of nifty ideas, and hopefully that inspires you and others to come up with your own or better versions of what you see, that kind of thing. As well, just a reminder, if you feel like it, no pressure. I am trying to get noticed on topstreamers.com. I do have a button on my Twitch channel page down at the bottom. So if you feel like you enjoyed the show and you want to support and promote the show and get more people involved and at least make them aware that the channel is out there, give it a little hit and lend a vote. You can do that. I think it's every day you can vote, but I know the votes disappear after 2 weeks. So, at least once in a while, just kind of tap it a little bit. And the more I have, the more chance it is that it will stay up and be visible for others that are looking for these kind of shows. As well, probably not next week, but maybe the week after. It'll probably be like after well, probably the weekend that I'm going to be doing the Easter thing. I will be posting the long-awaited announcement for our 50th housing episode, house tours episode. I do have some lots of goodies to pass around. So if you're interested, be watching the forums for that. Of course, once I have it set in stone, we will be reminding you on the show. But definitely, I want some engagement as far as my viewers kind of interacting with the announcement, because I'm going to be asking you to kind of lend me some ideas as far as what we're going to be showcasing for that 50th episode. So be sure and be looking for that. Like I said, it's a couple weeks. I'm anxious for it. It's just, it feels like the time is crawling so slowly and all that kind of thing. But it's just one of those things. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope it's something you guys enjoy. But it's a big milestone for us. So I want to share that fun and enjoyment of it with you guys, because I mean, if without you guys, I wouldn't really have a purpose other than just talking to myself, which I do anyway, but that's beside the point. So yeah, thank you for the votes. Thank you for the tweets, the retweets, the followings. Granted, all of that is not a must, but I certainly appreciate it when you guys do it. And that'll be it for today. I hope you guys had fun. Good luck with your own builds, and fingers crossed I will be here tomorrow. We'll probably be back on the spring plot. If not tomorrow, definitely Friday. Like I said, my husband's on vacation this week, so we've been doing a lot of things that I normally, I don't drive, so when he's around, I kind of take advantage of that and have him take me places that I don't normally go. So we may be doing that tomorrow. I don't know, but if not, I will definitely tweet and let you know, hey, there's no thing. Now, yesterday was a different case. I actually didn't get any sleep. I think I got like 2 hours. So when I got up that morning, I was like totally not functioning. So that was the whole zombie veg comment. That was why that was. I ended up sleeping most of the day yesterday to make up for it. But yeah, thanks again for joining, and have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.